Another edition of our great show we do here on Intellectual Radio. It is Bell and Company. I am the Bell of Bell and Company, Mario J. Bell. And the lady that says that is not with us this week. We're missing Libby, but we'll say hi to Libby. Hey, Libby.
We miss you, Libby.
And that is the voice of the other co-host we have here. Hey, Joe Brunker.
Yo.
Welcome. And we have another, I always say, but we really do another great guest on the show today, cool guest here. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? We'll get right into it.
Hello there. My name is Jacob Rosas.
Hello, Jacob Rosas.
How are you?
We're good. How you doing? Welcome.
We're glad to have you. So what do you do?
Exactly? Yeah, right.
Share with
you're
us.
here because you just felt like sitting on our show tonight.
What don't I do?
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's a big that's one thing I gotta say. You do a lot.
He must do some kind of video editing because he came with a heck of a rig. He's got 3 cameras set up for this.
It's something that I got into just recently in the past few months is video editing, and
I've noticed
doing all of our social media. So if you check us out, it's Instagram, Color Me Amused _band. I'm doing all those videos. Anthony's editing them. Monica's editing them. We're all kind of learning how to do this together. So
teaming up.
You are the what of Color Me Amused?
I am the songwriter. I am the leader.
The leader. What lead? Not lead singer.
They're not here. No, I'm the lead singer.
You are the lead singer.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm the lead singer now.
Y'all are a great team, though. For sure.
You obviously know Joe. Obviously, you guys have worked together at some point.
We go way back.
Yeah,
the Wayback Machine.
I'm usually the guy that's answering the emails, anything sent to us on Instagram. We all try to place our hands and all that stuff, but I feel like I get the notification on my phone. And I'm just okay.
I couldn't tell if it was you or Monica most times.
Sometimes
I thought it was Monica a lot.
If it's Monica, it's very casual.
How many people are in your band? You named a couple of them. How many is that?
Well, you know what? We were just doing a 4-piece for a while. And we added a bass player because
you did?
Last year I was doing bass and fronting. So that was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think it took away from my ability to kind of work the stage.
Work the crowd.
Focus on rhythm sections. And
I get that.
Singing.
So you added the 5th bass player.
Yeah, we added a bass player, Danny. He plays in another band called No Better Tomorrow or No Better Today. My bad. Sorry, Danny.
I'll give him a look.
And Color Me Amused.
And Color Me Amused. Officially today. Yes, they do have songs out.
Oh, sweet.
They're in the studio right now.
Oh,
excellent.
Heck yeah. That's cool.
Always good to be recording new stuff.
They're in the studio right now. I think they have a guest singer on their track today. She's the singer of Dead Pedal.
Okay.
And they're playing with us on this upcoming Saturday.
That's what I know.
These are all and I'm guessing because Joe knows a lot of you, these are all based bands, and even your band is based in the suburbs of Chicago area.
Suburbs of Chicago. Dead Pedal's from Chicago, so they're a Chicago-based band.
Who'd you have? Isles and then Kevin from Guardrail.
Isles, Kevin from Guardrail. They're all Chicago guys.
Yeah.
But you're to the core 5 now. There's 5 people.
Yeah, there's 5 members of the band. That is how it's staying for now. If we decide to add a string section or orchestra.
You know, one thing I like about doing this now, it seems like
look up Adela.
We've been able to see. I was just going to say, mention band. We've been able to feature a lot of cool people that you wouldn't hear about on some of the other radio shows or podcasts. Even though we're going to go on other radio stations, we're still focusing a lot on Chicago. There's no doubt about it.
I just like reaching out to people who interest me, who are my friends.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, I have no problem with them being from Chicago because we're here. That's where the studio is.
But I don't think there's a better. More beautiful city. So
I mean, if somebody from
I agree,
LA
skyline wise,
why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to know about a band out of Chicago, or the towns that we're officially starting in a couple of weeks? Well, I was telling our guest Evan on the show we did earlier. It's kind of a pain just getting the coordination of the times we're going to be on. I'm talking about radio. We're going back on terrestrial over the air and doing this.
Yeah.
So we're getting busy. But the thing is, I keep thinking, well, now we're going to have to focus a little more on just outside of Chicago. But you know what? I like talking about Chicago. So, I think everybody's just going to have to get used to it.
What's your favorite beef?
I really like Beef Shack with the garlic bread and the cheese on it. Oh my goodness!
People from these other towns are now going to want to go. What's Beef Shack? Because that's a Northwest suburb thing. That's not Chicago.
Beef Shack is lit. But yes, if we're talking Chicago, I mean, Riccobenni's has some amazing food.
I don't know. They have beef. I know they got a great steak sandwich.
They got that steak sandwich.
I got to go with Al's, but you got to go to the one on Taylor Street.
What about Pops?
Yeah. You got to go to the original. Yes, they're good too, but you got to go to the original. He just said it. You got to go to the original Al's. They're the best one. Some of the other ones, I don't know, they're a chain or something. I don't know what's going. I mean, a franchise. Yeah. But anyway, what would you say, Pops?
What's your thoughts on Johnny's?
You mean Johnny's Beef?
Yeah, Johnny's Beef.
I like the one that's actually in the suburbs, like Mount Prospect or something. But the original one's in Elmwood Park.
Yeah, I thought so.
Again, for people that would be listening out of state, trust me, you're going to want to check these places out. They're just, if you're in Chicago, you got to go to these places.
Please go clog your arteries at one of these places.
Right. Or maybe you don't. I mean, the new studies are we need our fat in our diet. It's not always, it's maybe the saturated or all that oil. Maybe get it with a little less oil that they cook the beef with. But I don't know. I don't even know how they cook beef. You guys know how they make Italian beef? We're talking about Chicago beef now. Instead of your band.
We're on a rabbit trail.
Color Me Amused in a second.
Let's reel it in.
Yeah, right. Well, no, but seriously, that stuff
well, you get the
I don't know if,
roast of the cow. No.
But I don't know if it's really that bad for you is the point. I mean, it's got a ton of spices in it. Lots of salt, though. Tons of salt, obviously. Hey. But anyway, so that's Chicago stuff.
I got a ton of salt, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, just ask for no salt on your fries and maybe move most of the beef over to one side of the bread. Get rid of the other half of the bread.
Joe's making little jokes, and you're being serious about those. Seriously, you got to enjoy this beef. You got to enjoy this beef. But anyway, so your band, I don't know, do you guys do things at bars that serve this kind of food? I bet you would. Yeah. I was assuming you would say but
usually we throw in our rider that we want like a pizza, a couple cases of beer. I like Coke Zeros, so if I can get a club to give me a case of Coke Zeros.
It's funny we've done all these shows and we got all the way to you to talk about that.
Better than Pepsi Zero.
We've never talked about like what bands like to have for the show. This is interesting that brought it up. So are you making a joke? Or are you serious?
No, I'm serious. We our rider for the show coming up is I asked the venue owner, I'm like, hey, you make great pizza. We're into pop punk emo kind of centers around pizza. That's usually our main food source.
Ninja Turtles
that's awesome.
Pop punk.
So yeah,
and they don't mind. I know they would like the classic movie Blues Brothers. They talk about it. Oh, well, we thought that was they just kept serving us. So
they kept serving us.
I mean, it's not like that. They have a limit, right? They're gonna say.
We've had it in the past where we've
gone over the limit.
Over the limit, and they're like, so we're taking like $150 off the top here.
And they don't tell you.
$200. They don't tell you. You're like, wait, hold on. I thought you guys were providing that.
They'll gladly watch the numbers roll by.
Well, that was just like that movie, the Blues Brothers movie. They did the same thing. Oh, we got to go out. We got to write a company check on the dashboard of the car. And I didn't know that was a thing that they would actually take it away if you did go over.
They're about to exceed the limit. Don't say
we went in a really crazy direction. We're on Facebook now. Say hello. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Facebook.
How are you, Facebook? Jacob from Color Me Amused here.
Hey, Jacob. Anyway, and that's Joe, and I'm J Bell. So what you were just talking about, and we'll bring it into the Facebook conversation, is there are things that bands, and the joke you always hear, like I think it was at Aerosmith or Led Zeppelin that wanted like red M&Ms or something, or not red M&Ms. That's like a famous story.
I forgot what band it was. I think it was Steven Tyler.
I think it was Steven Tyler.
It was
but that's a real
Green
thing.
I know Van Halen also had some stuff too, some stipulations.
But I can't believe we've never. I just said this on the YouTube in the stream broadcast. We've never talked about that before. That bands, and Joe, maybe you do it too, where you ask for things at the bar, like a special, like we need certain water with ice, or we need beer, or whatever.
Oh, I definitely all I ever really needed when I played a venue was a jug of water.
Just water?
Yeah, just water.
You're easy.
Yeah.
What does Color Me Amused do? Say what you want to do on Facebook.
Gallon of water
up. Pizza, you were saying?
We want pizza. If it's next to like a taco joint,
give them pizza.
Maybe a burrito.
Some free burritos.
We've gotten burritos in the past.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
But it's a real thing to have a request.
It's a real thing to have a request, but also a lot of bands don't ask.
Yeah.
So, and they, we're spreading awareness right now. Ask for stuff.
It's good to put
you
a
never
rider
know.
out.
They might give it to you. They might not. but they might give it to
Well,
you.
here,
True.
I happen to have a little insight on this because two of my family members own bars, one in Northwest Indiana, one right over the border near Homewood. Actually, it is in Homewood, Illinois. Again, we're talking Chicago area.
Yeah.
And they always provide, like, they have, like, you get a tab and it's like limited to so much,
Yeah.
and then they might give you a sandwich. So is that reasonable?
Ooh, a
Does it sound like
sandwich would be
absolutely-
great.
that would be acceptable?
Absolutely. If
Color Me
dinner
Amused?
doesn't have to come out of our pockets for the night, that's a win.
That's
I-
true.
This is a crazy question again. I don't know why we've never talked about this. Any of the other bands we had, and we had many on. But do you guys drink before and after, even maybe during the show, Joe, and your band?
I mean, like when I was in bands, I don't know, I would drink a few, maybe one or two beforehand, but not much because I get acid reflux disease.
Um,
About you guys? Do you guys try to have a
When-
good time during the show?
when I was younger, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like 9 out of 10 times it was a little sloppy, but it was fun. And
Before or even during?
both.
Okay.
Oh, the house
But-
party.
you I like to feel like everybody gets a little more mature as they grow up, and I'm at a stage where I can hold off on the drinks, the partying until after the set, because I feel like I got too many people coming out here. They paid X amount of dollars to come see a good show. I know that I might fudge up some of the lyrics if I've had
Drinking.
one too many libations.
I get
would
that.
imagine that could affect your performance a little bit, depending on how much.
I
you
mean,
had,
it'll turn into what does Anthony Kiedis do? He's just like,
Yeah, where it's just slurring.
and I never asked I asked these are both cousins of mine. I never asked them, when does the band get that? Like after you're done or during the show?
You could get it before.
You can get it
like,
before. They'll put it right there in the dressing room for
Yeah.
you, and you're just it's there.
Yeah, it's there if you want it.
I mean,
Pers-
I've interviewed guests for my show, and I've been sitting there with them, and they're drinking, and that's before their show. So that's, I guess, I didn't know that's like a thing, but I guess it is.
I don't know. Drinking in a band kind of made me realize I don't want to drink as much. So
At least not during a show, right?
No, just
Yeah.
in general. Like,
Just in general.
I don't know. I've kind of cut back to the point where I've only had I could count on one hand in the past 3 months how many times I've drank.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
you guys have had. Well, you're still asking for stuff, but Joe's had enough partying. It sounds like he's moving on to the next phase.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. So Color Me Amused. Did you guys work together? Like, were you you promoted Joe, right? Is that what it was?
So back in the day, I was in a band called 2 Weeks Notice.
Heck yeah.
We used to rip through the scene, show every weekend.
Shout out Cameron.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy?
Marino
Marino.
Eric.
Okay. Yeah. Eric
and
Marino.
Kevin Emmerich.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
Kevin played in Color Me Amused for a while too.
And what did you do to get in touch with Joe, or what did you do with Joe?
Who was it? Jeremy Jednichowski.
Yeah. Janikowski. Yeah. Yeah.
He was a bass player in another band, and we're talking about bass players a lot today.
I know, right?
But
Well, you got a new one.
exactly. So he hit me up and said, "Hey, my friend's band's trying to land their first gig. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Can you help them out?" And I was like, "They got any music out?" No.
Oh, I sent you. We
Oh.
had one EP,
Oh.
and it was like our kind of grungy rock.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Went
What band
over the
was that?
sun
You know what?
dabble.
Over
You
the
know what,
Sun?
sir? I did not listen to that.
Oh, I bet you were just like, okay, they
Oh.
sent something.
Well, but so what were you doing at the time? You were help promoting bands as well. Then?
I was getting my hands into it. I wasn't heavy on that. I was given this date and told, "Hey, find the bands." So I was like, "All right, well, let's go find these bands." I had, I got in touch with you, Nathan Weber, I think.
Yeah, Nathan Weber killed it.
Um,
Where's he at now, Cali?
He's in California. He's shredding.
I thought
for
so.
sure, somewhere
Yeah.
on a beach.
Heck yeah.
On a beach somewhere.
Yes,
nice.
on a beach somewhere shredding right now.
He reminded me of like Jason Mraz, just better guitar
He
skills.
was so good.
Wow, I really like Jason Mraz, so I probably like.
Yeah, I know you'd love him. He was really good. But
Brilliant.
we packed that place. It was nearly
Oh,
a
yeah.
sold out show. I think we were shy of like 980 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe's first show? Is that what you're saying that
Yeah.
would have been?
Yeah,
Joe's
my
first
band brought like 110, and I think you guys brought 100 and something. And then,
Where was that?
150.
yeah,
Where was the
yeah.
venue? What was it?
Yeah.
This was House of
Did
Blues.
we have to sell 150? I couldn't remember.
I
how
think
much
they
we had.
wanted us to sell 100 plus.
Okay, so I can't remember how
wait,
many
you
we
guys
sold.
are just passing over. That's like a big deal that you're playing at House of Blues. You were playing one of your first shows at House of Blues. That's like a legendary
You know
place.
what?
They're in New Orleans. They're here, and I don't know where else they are. I think L.A.
You'll never get that chance again as a
Yeah.
local band.
R.I.P. Rock Music Chicago.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was Singleton.
Yep.
Evan Singleton and
Mark.
Yeah.
Are you
How could
planning
you
on
forget Mark?
Are you
Yeah,
planning on
right.
getting back in there with the band now? Try to get into House of Blues.
You know what? I think right now House of Blues is looking for just like more theme nights.
Oh,
So
okay.
I thought of this idea of doing a Disney night where we punkify all the Disney songs, and they're doing that this summer. So
They are?
They did it already. They thought of it. They heard you.
They-
You wrote it on Facebook.
They
How did
commented.
know?
you know, they got bugs in my house for sure. I feel like
That's
every
what
time
it
I
is.
have an
Weird.
idea for a show, pops up.
All right,
like,
we'll
a
say it
couple
here
months
on the
later.
broadcast. You know it's going to be anything you're coming up with. You know it's here. He said it
I
today.
said it here.
Whatever day it
All
is,
right.
the 30th, whatever.
That
of
was my
March.
idea. No.
No, that wasn't. But well, it was, but they took it. Now, what do you think they'll? How do you just like make? It's a small world after all, but metal. I mean, what do you do there?
Oh yeah, like the newer movies, Moana, Frozen.
Oh, heck
You
yeah.
can do a punk rock version.
Oh, I can't think of the song.
let it go.
Yeah,
that
for
song.
sure.
Yeah.
And you could just do the Fall Out Boy song in Big Hero 6.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
No, that's true.
Which is
They're in
just
it.
a fall.
Duh. I didn't
Yeah,
think
pretty
about it.
much.
They're already using like.
That's literally it.
But that's not. They. You got to make it more punkish, I guess.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. All right, so you're not doing that. That was an idea, but they're doing it without your
they're
House of
doing
Blues.
it. But
Alright.
if you want to get into the House of Blues, you just got to pitch them with a really good theme night and prove that you can sell
Couple thousand.
So and so.
1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
So theme night meaning like you could do like a 80s blues or something.
Oh,
I don't know, I'm just
absolutely.
throwing out.
If you know the demographic and you can market it to them, go for it.
How many
Yeah.
bands would they want
Uh,
for a show like that?
for a show like that, probably like 4, 3.
Normally around that.
Yeah.
We had 5 our night.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask
we
you,
had a
what was
lot.
your deal? So you guys before you were Color Me Amused, you were something else.
2 weeks notice.
2 weeks notice.
And then we had your band,
Yes. Yeah. Over the Sun.
Over the Sun.
And then there was
and
Nathan
3 other
Weber.
bands.
Then there was Nathan Weber, who played, I think, latest, kind of closer. And then there was who else? What was that other band? I forget those names. I forget the name of those.
I don't know
bands,
if any of
for
those
real.
bands exist anymore. It's wild.
I think
Well,
they all.
it
I
was
think
5 bands at the time is the
Yeah.
point.
I think almost all of them are gone.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool that
Yeah.
you did that though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, it
isn't
was
that
so
like
much fun.
One of the larger venues, especially in Chicago, not like because like United Center is kind of on the outskirts of
Yeah.
Chicago in a way.
It's
I-
probably
and
on the
so is-
mid-range venues.
It's
Like,
Rosemont
definitely,
Theater,
it's
you know.
definitely one of those venues where there's prestige behind the name, and you can say, "Oh, I'm playing the House of Blues." Like
Mhm.
there's no bigger bragging right.
But it
than
also
that.
seats like 2,000, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many get in
I
there.
think it's. Yeah, I think it's about 2,000 if
Yeah.
they do the upper balcony for sure.
Or wait, do they even your standing room too? So
Yeah, they do a lot of standing room,
Yeah.
especially for those local shows. It was all standing room.
I'm thinking of the Metro, but Metro's definitely not as big as House of Blues.
That is where I want to play next. Shout
Metro?
out
That'd be
Metro
amazing.
Chicago.
look at Color Me Amused.
Hook up with Color Me Amused. Well, you got the marketing background, so now you gotta tell them. We just talked about it on the air. They want to be on at the Metro soon. Maybe you got to talk to Billy Corgan. He's got a connection over there.
I'll go to
Of
what
the
is it?
Smashing
Madame
Pumpkins.
Zuzu's.
Go into his cafe and talk to him. Doesn't he have like a coffee house at Evanston or something?
Yeah, I think he plays his acoustic there sometimes.
Wait,
Really?
where is it?
I did not know that.
Where's it? Where's his?
No, I did not
coffee
know.
house? Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah,
Can't think
I had
of-
no
is it
clue of
Evanston?
that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Madame Zuzu's.
Yeah.
That's it in Evanston.
Mhm.
There we go.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
that
he's
had-
had that for I don't know 5-6 years, something like that. Maybe a little longer.
I'll have to take a trip to the Zuzu before I leave.
Yeah, right. That's right, Joe. I don't know if you know this. Joe's leaving. Well, not the show, but leaving physically. He'll
I
be
know.
down in the East Coast.
Heck
Atlanta?
yeah.
Southeast.
Augusta.
Augusta.
He's got to work on his accent.
Oh, I could get the drawl. It's
You
not
get the
that
drawl?
hard to come
Okay.
back to.
But you gotta use the words,
I lived
too.
in southern Missouri and Kentucky for a couple
All right,
times.
all
Okay.
right. I guess it'll be fine. So, speaking of that, do
This
you guys
man's gonna
tour at all?
order
Do
a
you mostly
Sprite and say,
there?
"Let me get a Coke."
Right?
Can I get a
pop?
Coke?
You gotta
Yeah,
say
exactly.
Pop instead of soda or soda.
What's a
instead of pop?
Pepsi?
Exactly. Everything is a Pepsi. You got it for real. So, do you guys tour outside of Chicago?
We play some out of state stuff.
Hey,
We-
played some Wisconsin and
yeah, we played
Indiana,
some
right?
Wisconsin, Indiana. Not too much right now. We're just trying to build up our following. Southwest suburbs was a huge market that we've hit for the last couple years. We haven't actually played a show in Chicago since I want to say we were playing with Every Avenue.
Okay.
You mean the city? In the city.
Was that at
in
Bottom?
the city. That was Bottom Lounge,
Okay.
and that was July 3rd.
Didn't Joe work? You worked there for a minute, didn't you?
I did. Unfortunately, I had to stop, and I had totally forgotten to message Kevin back when I stopped. So I felt bad for that because I was like, oh crud, and then I realized, and then I spaced out and I messaged him back, and I'm all like,
You
Hey, man.
flake.
yeah, I flaked. I flaked.
Jacob's
I
gonna join the show now.
oh, I felt horrible. It was just because I didn't realize that I had forgotten to message him because I thought I had messaged him and told him I can't do it. But it's I always do that where I'll look at a message and I'll formulate the response in my head
And
Before
then
you do
never
it.
send it.
and then never send it. And
Oh,
then
boy.
Yep.
it happens weeks in a row where I'm just I have not responded to this. Now I feel worse.
He wrote a book about the whole thing, Henry the Hyper Hippo. So interesting. But okay, so Bottom Lounge used to be something else. Do you guys know what it was before? I'm trying to think of what it was many moons ago. 'Cause it's
I don't know.
always been a bar
It
there.
used to be a factory before that, I think.
Well, it was yeah, I know that. I'm talking when they converted it to be a music place. It was something before Bottom Lounge. But anyway,
Yeah, I think based on what Moose told me, Moose is the owner. I think that he kind of took it over right after that.
oh, okay, maybe.
And then
but I'm
now
trying
it's
to
a
think.
wedding venue. It's a really cool place. Kevin runs a tight ship. Don't get me wrong. I just couldn't keep going out to Chicago all the time. It was just kind of rough.
And you
for
played
me.
there just one time, or how many times you been there?
I feel like that was a staple for my band.
Yeah, you
was
played there
we
quite a
played
bit.
there
Oh, nice.
quite a bit.
Let's talk
so
about it. So you know the Moose guy. I take it. I don't know.
I've
him.
not met the Moose.
Moose. Yeah, yeah.
we know the doorman. We know
Yeah.
we know Kevin, the venue manager.
Well, wait, this brings up another question.
The
Who are you guys usually
bartenders.
talking to when you're doing the promotion and the marketing and trying to get the bands booked? You don't end up talking with the owners?
Sometimes it depends on the venue.
Yeah.
Some of them have booking managers. Some of them just you got to write down your email on a piece of paper. It all depends on the venue. Quite
Interesting.
honestly.
You feel the same way? Because
No, it could be a simple form on their website. It could be just email this random dude
Most
with
effective
no
I found,
affiliation to the
so
Messenger.
you do agree with Joe on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say Messenger has been my biggest.
I mean,
Messenger,
my two
absolutely.
cousins take the calls personally. I don't know if they get Facebook inquiries or their website inquiries, but they do take the call. So if
I
you
mean,
want
that's
to go
cool.
to those two bars, you got to go through me, then go to them.
Yeah. And
There you go.
calling places does help, especially if they're old school.
Mhm.
Give them a phone call if you want to get into that venue. That might be more effective. Or go to the venue, go to a show, see if you can talk to the owner, the promoter, whoever.
By the
think
way,
so.
though, I did some spelunking and stuff and some diving on the internet.
No
So I'm going to
way.
give these to you later on.
Okay.
It's all these venues. So
Oh,
there's
that's
50
sick.
Iowa, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Illinois. So
So it has all names and numbers of people?
emails. I did a lot of diving one time and I was trying to build our database, but then I was just kind of why am I building this? I don't want to keep doing this. So, but I've got them for you.
So I mean, are you trying to dabble in doing booking and marketing and stuff, not just playing in the band?
I think that's more of a 5-year plan. I want to give 110% to creating, being a creative, performing, all of that stuff before I dabble too far into that. Because I feel like once you go down that route, you're not booking your own shows as often. You're not really doing your own thing as much.
That's all you hope for.
Yeah.
Like 110%, baby.
Yeah.
That's good. I know some people say I want to give it 1,000%, but realistically,
Nah.
you give it. You make it happen.
Yeah.
You do your day job, then you do this 100%.
Exactly.
A little bit more. You know.
And then as the years go by, take a 10% here, 20% there.
Yeah.
Like.
So you dabbled in editing. Obviously, you got a 3-camera shoot going on here,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to dabble in editing. What else do you do besides being the band, marketing, doing some editing?
I engineer for the band, so we record guitars, bass. We're starting to do drums in house.
Oh, really?
So,
Where do you record at? Do you have like a home studio?
Yeah, I have a home studio. It's about the size of this room.
Nice.
We have
It's chill.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. We did RGB
big,
lights all over the
nice.
place, and
you have the sound deadening. You got to have that, right?
yeah, we have my dad and I built these fiberglass and put vinyl.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that works good then.
Yeah, and put them all over the walls because people live in the house too, so they don't always want to hear a band rocking out. So.
but the sound deadening, like the foam board, you see, it wasn't enough. You went the next step.
Yeah, we went the next step. We put brand new carpets in there, and we already had a drop ceiling, so that was nice.
I played one of my craziest shows there ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We used to throw house shows at
like
house
just
all
you're
the time.
having a good time partying and you start playing. Is what
Oh,
you're
it
saying.
got wild.
No,
It got wild.
We would promote it.
Oh, really? You're having house parties.
Sometimes
What is this, like,
charge people $5, you know?
Yeah.
What are you, Kid and Play now or what?
There was
Probably don't
quite
even
a few
know.
people at that show.
Yeah.
You guys even know who Kid and Play is? I bet you don't. You
Kids
don't.
in Play?
No, Kid and Play.
Oh, Kid in Play.
The one guy had like the eraser head.
Yeah, I remember the hair.
He
Like
said
where he-
no. Dig up the.
Isn't it like early 90s, late 80s?
It is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they did. I believe they did 2 movies. House Party. I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know.
That's why I said
now
it.
I
because-
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I
the
brought
house
it
party
up.
movies.
But anyway, that's wild. So you're having. Were you recording during the parties?
Oh no.
Okay.
But none of if
I'm glad
were,
we didn't record
I'm
much
sure
of that.
I'm sure somebody would have broken that camera.
Easily. I got racked to the nuts that night, like really hard. The girl tried to strip me on stage, and then she was the one who ended up getting kicked out.
All the 2 girls that
Of
were
the
getting
house party?
getting it on in my bathroom.
Yeah, they
Man,
took the bathroom
yeah.
over for 30
took the-
freaking
forget
minutes.
Forget about
bathroom
bars.
over.
We're going to your basement party.
Right.
Damn.
It was
I like
wild.
that.
It was absolutely wild.
So okay, but you're basically like in on this deal all in. You don't have like a day job you do and then do this, or do you have a day job?
I do have a day job.
Okay.
It is literally just a day job. I'm there from 8 to 4 p.m.
Where you work?
I work for a special recreation association.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we do recreation for adults with intellectual disabilities.
Which company?
We had a guy last
Northern
week.
Will County.
Okay,
Oh,
my
we
mom's with Cornerstone.
Yeah, I was gonna
Cornerstone.
say, we
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about last week.
We've done stuff with Cornerstone
Yeah.
too.
We
yeah.
had-
She's the art teacher.
We had his
Oh, that's
friend on
awesome.
from NAMI, and what was his other organization? I forget his other one. Last week, Aaron.
Oh, Nami and
The other one.
Oh, that's just his little group.
That's his,
It's like
discussion group.
yeah, it's just where they hang out, mental health.
But anyway.
group. Yeah,
Hey, he's dealing with that organization, and now
Yeah.
you are too. That's cool.
yeah.
But you said 8 to 4. You know, they give you a lunch break.
No lunch breaks. You take your lunch with them because we all since it's a day program.
I was just throwing out there being
Yeah.
silly, but here you're
No,
being real.
I'm
You
being-
really
I'm
do
being
8
real.
to 4. I was
8
joking. Okay.
8 to 4. I have my lunch with them. So
This sounds
That's
like
awesome.
a union job. Is this a union shop or what?
personally, one of my favorite concerts I ever got to do was at Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Like, Over the Sun did it.
Oh,
We
really?
did like a Christmas show, and honestly, some of the best times you'll ever have, like playing a concert for them. You know,
Where are you
like,
based
cause-
at?
they really appreciate music.
Exactly.
They
Where
feel
is
it
your
and
base?
see it.
Truly.
So ours is based out of Northern Will County. So out in Romeoville.
Oh, Romeoville.
Yeah,
Illinois.
Romeoville.
Okay.
We also have facilities in Plainfield, Bolingbrook, and
Southwest.
Yeah, the whole Southwest.
And Joe's is Southwest himself.
Heck yeah.
And now you're going to be Southeast pretty soon.
yeah.
You're going the other way, but way south.
Should be fun.
Anyway.
Should be fun.
But that's a great organization. We have one in by where I happen to live in a southwest suburb close to Hinsdale, Illinois. We just love throwing out all these suburbs and names, right? But
Nobody knows it.
Yeah, right. They have Ray Graham. Is that of
Ray
them?
Graham.
I think they do very similar stuff to what you're talking about. But they have like where you ride on horses too. Like there's outdoor activities too.
Yeah. That's we've taken our guys to the horse ranch because it's like
That's cool.
Is it right next door?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Where you mean the Ray Graham one I'm talking about?
Yeah, aren't the stables nearby?
Yeah, they're literally the offices on like the 60th Street by my house, and then the stables are like it used to be all farmland there.
Yeah,
they built up in the last 20, 30 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's right there on the facility, which is cool.
So are you in the main day center?
Well,
or are you at a house?
We're at a day center.
Okay,
so we're not residential.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you don't have meet with them in their home.
Yeah, no, they come to us, and then we take them out on a minibus or a van. Or
how do they get back and forth? Their families, or do you
their families drop them off, and then they come pick them up. It's almost like school.
You guys go to movies too? Because my mom goes.
Ray Graham,
movies, museums.
Plays.
I take them out to the city all the time. So we'll take advantage of those free days at Field Museum, Chicago History Museum.
Have you taken them to the Lockport Museum?
Yes.
Yeah. My mom.
Ray
tells
Graham
me about
actually, I think they go get you. I think they'll pick you up and they'll take you back and they take you to the events. From what I remember, I don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while. But.
That is a lot. No.
Well, you see, they're like white trucks driving around all
Absolutely.
the time. Yeah, but anyway, this is really awesome. That you
I think you should throw a concert.
Industry.
Yeah, no, it's not related. It's purely just something that I got into in 2018. I just finished college, and I was a good opportunity at the time because everywhere was paying like $8.25, $9.50, like.
Wait, even in 2000, I thought we had gone up to 15 by then. I guess not.
No, that was after COVID hit, pretty much.
Yeah,
I think so.
Man. We were fighting for the 15 at that time.
It was a big fight.
Didn't really pan out.
And now it's like it's a joke if you're even getting 15.
Now it's like, oh, you're making 20 an hour.
That's weak.
Federal minimum wage. And we're going way off subject about you, but just real quick,
that's what they say.
Federal minimum wage is still like $7 or $8 an hour. Isn't that crazy? So anyway.
Get out there, guys. Get out there.
Start doing music, I think, is the point here. Color Me Amused. he might need another bass player. You never know. You never know.
We'll take two.
We'll take two. A double bass.
So what is coming up? It sounds like you got a lot on your plate. You're recording. Are you planning new shows here coming up soon?
We are absolutely planning new shows. We're obviously playing the show on this upcoming Saturday, the 5th. We're celebrating my birthday.
Yeah,
Tailgaters.
So it's Color Me Amused at
Tailgaters in Bolingbrook. Show starting at 7. We've got Dead Pedal. We've got Choose Your Character. We've got Isles, and we've got Kevin from Guardrail spinning a emo pop punk DJ set after the show.
Wow. And the fact that you're going to that venue is interesting. They do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, the Tailgaters is like the place to be in that area. It seems like they've got they've had big bands come through there.
I saw you open for Trapped.
There you go. I mean, see, I mean, it's amazing who they get coming through there. So that'll be a good show.
I kind of want to interview that guy on this show, just for the fun.
I don't know, man.
I don't know them. I've heard about their shows.
Strong.
Yeah, I've heard about them.
I want to be like, hey, remember when you kicked me off Facebook? Remember when you blocked me?
That's a story for another time. But anyway,
have you heard of the Trapped guy?
I know who you're talking about, but I haven't had any issues with them. So anyway, so you're are you like hosting it? It's like your show.
So I'm hosting it. It's my show.
They promoted you. They did a big old post about you. That was pretty cool.
What about billboards? They do billboards.
Bob's a great guy. No billboards this time. We're gonna work on it for next year.
Heck yeah!
It's turned into kind of this annual thing. And Bob's like, all right, let's do this.
That's cool.
You've been there several times. I think
this is the second year we're doing it here. Before I used to do them at my house.
Yeah.
So you had the house parties, then you did Bottom Lounge a bunch of times. Now you're doing Tailgaters.
I'm not gonna lie, house and garage shows Nothing really beats those. I love those.
The
Well, I mean,
vibe
I-
is there, and people like a free show.
I mean, everybody talks about
Mhm.
garage bands. I never thought about actually having the party and the venue be the garage.
Yep.
Oh heck yeah.
So we're doing that, and then in June,
You're not doing the garage. You're doing tailgaters.
we're doing tailgaters. In June on the 21st, we're playing another suburb show at Lamont at Heroes West.
Oh, Heroes, nice.
And we're doing that with Commit This to Memory, Comfort Kills. Who else do we got on that? We got a lot of bands.
That's
Didn't-
cool.
Didn't we have comfort? No.
Cool kills. We had cool kills.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Close enough. No, different band, different band.
Oh,
Go ahead. Comfort kills.
and then it's going to be co-headliner with Feels Like Karma.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're good. We played with them at your garage show. Yeah.
So
well,
you're like the closing act, like you're the featured act then?
Featured act, co-headliner. We like to
Headliner.
set up co-headliners sometimes because I feel like if we get a band on with us that we're comfortable with, we've chummed up and we're all tight with, like, why not both of us play a longer set?
I like choose your character too.
Choose your characters.
But you'll play.
Joff is a really good guitar player.
You'll play after
Paul's
them.
A great singer.
You'll play after. What is it called? Choose what?
Oh, Feels Like Karma.
Or
We're gonna
Feels Like
play
Karma.
before them at Heroes West.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna play right before them.
Cool. That's
It's a late
epic.
night too. We're
At
all-
tailgaters, you'll be the last to play because that's like you're the headliner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Other than Kevin's gonna spin a DJ set until like 1 a.m. So
Go Kevin. Guardrails killer. I like them.
Gonna have to get him some Red Bulls.
Do you feel like you're like doing kind of like our guest we had on before talking about? Well, he's got a radio station, like a streaming radio station. He does podcasts and he does promoting bands. Are you kind of trying to get into like the promotion of bands? It sounds like maybe you are.
Promotion. Promoting, talent buying. I feel like in order to be successful in this industry right now, you have to call the shots on your shows. So you need to find the venue yourself.
I will not
need
argue that
to-
it applies to broadcast media.
Yeah, you have
run the show.
You got to put the bill together yourself.
Don't go through the bookers.
Yeah, don't go through the
times.
bookers a lot because they have to get their cut too. So
They serve a purpose, especially for newer bands starting out. But after a while, like sometimes
I thought
they'll
they're like
kinda
quote
take-
unquote an agent, but they work for multiple bands. Like a
Yeah.
booking agent.
booking agents,
but they get a fee. you're saying.
promoters, whatnot.
Mhm.
We try to just minimally work with them.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the ones that I work with personally, we have such a relationship where they trust that the show's going to be successful.
Mhm.
We're going to get our little cut, and you guys handle everything else. So
Good rapport.
just
basically.
get that good rapport with them, and then try to make sure that you are in charge of the environment and that things are running how you want them to.
Mhm.
Wow, you definitely have a lot on your plate with the day job. Then
It's
you're
a
doing
lot.
the promotion side. You guys are recording. You're doing shows. I mean, this is. Are you sure you have time for the day job? You're gonna have to quit that pretty soon.
We'll see.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
It'd be great to quit your day job, but I feel like nowadays you can't. I mean, there's bands that tour constantly that you think they're really well off, and
They're not.
And they all
they're
have
not.
day
They all
jobs.
have day jobs. They're working in bars and they're working in kitchens or whatnot. Still, have to make that dollar when in between tours.
I've
So,
seen people with bands with like 100,000 likes, like millions
Yep.
of streams, and they're still working barbacks, because like
Heard it.
most of the money you make is off of your merch.
I
And
believe
a
it.
lot of times, like merch doesn't sell as good as it used to, especially CDs. Like which is
Yep.
tough.
And
Well, I
then,
think
and then if
people
you're
buy the CDs to like collect.
You could still sell them though.
You can
but,
sell 'em.
Yeah.
and then also if you're signed to a label, there's bands on labels that are still having to work day jobs.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Like that's the reality that we live in right now.
Mhm.
Is
Well, I'm not pushing you to quit. Your
Oh,
your
no.
day job is great. You want to keep that. I
my
was
day
kidding. I'm
job's
making a
awesome.
joke.
But it would be great to quit.
it'd be great to quit
If
it or
you
find
could,
something
yeah.
remote.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I get
Yeah.
it. I'm just joking around with you. But no, that's a great day job. It's a great thing you're doing. So the next one that I guess we're going to see then is coming up real quick here at Tailgaters. Were there more? You only talk about a couple
We
weeks.
got.
Give me some more.
I'll just lay them all out. We
Yeah.
got June June 21st at Heroes West in Lamont. Then after that, we're playing, I think, July 12th at Base Camp.
Love them in Lyle. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a Day to Remember cover set. So that'll be fun. And it's a whole Riot Fest theme show.
Didn't you do one last year there or something?
No, a couple years ago we did Halloween there.
I thought so, yeah.
At Base Camp.
Yeah, we did Halloween at Base Camp. That was a lot of fun.
Trying to remember.
And then,
I know I've seen your name before. Now that's where at Base Camp.
And then shortly after that, we're going to play Morton Arboretum. We're doing one of their Wednesday nights. I think. I
keep hearing about that. They have a venue in there?
No.
Where do you do it?
They have this pretty area where they set up a generator. And you bring your PA system, and you can entertain their members and their guests for the day.
Is that kind of like
awesome.
When you drive in? I know there's like a real long area you go around, like in a circle. Is it over there? Or?
Yeah, it's that little semicircle thing area.
Are you playing like a 3-hour for that? Or
We're
something?
doing a 2-hour set.
Okay, that's
wow.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
That's what I was guessing for that. Are they going to ask for like half covers, kind of, or something?
And it's just your band, or you'll have another band?
No, it's just gonna be us. We're gonna do all of our originals, and we're gonna play like an hour and 20 minutes worth of covers.
Nice.
Holy crap. That's a long set.
It is a long set, but we wanted to challenge ourselves this year, and we want to take on.
I think that's longer than Kiss. I went to the last Kiss, quote unquote, last Kiss show in Chicago, and it was shorter than that.
Longest one we've ever done was 4, and I hated it, every bit of it.
Oh,
4 hours.
Yeah, I wanted to die. That's why I'm like, okay, kudos to the cover band people, but I just really can't see myself ever wanting to do that.
Man. So, but again, it's about 2. It'll be about 2
Yeah,
hours.
it'll be about 2 hours there, and then August 2nd we're playing the Cubby Bear on Wrigleyville.
Heck yeah!
So that's gonna be
dude, you made it now. You might as well just go right down the street, do Metro, then get over to House of Blues. You're already at Cubby Bear.
Cubby Bear is a fun one.
Metro, hit me up.
I like the upstairs green room area.
And then you got it. Might as well catch a game beforehand or after, depending on. Well, no, it won't be after. You'll be playing. So night.
Hit up Metro. Hit up Color Me Amused. Metro, if you're listening, which you are, right? Because
somebody maybe
you guys.
I don't know.
Hey,
hopefully,
like that would be pretty wicked.
but I tell you what, they got a pretty cool setup over at, and because they've remodeled a couple times over at the Cubby Bear in Chicago. That's a pretty nice place to play too.
I'm looking forward to it. This will be my first time actually playing there.
Really?
So I bet you they got a couple. Well, no, maybe not, but close, because they'll stand outside even.
I almost got mugged by a rat in the back parking lot. He was like this big.
maybe 700-800. I bet they can fit in there.
We're looking forward to it because there's a afternoon Cubs game that day.
That's what I was alluding to. You go to the game beforehand.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Go right there.
I'm buying my tickets soon. So and then after that, we are playing.
That was in July, you said, right?
Yeah, that one's August 2nd. So August 2nd, Cubby Bear. And then we're playing August 22nd at again out in the burbs. We're playing Q Bar Darien.
Oh, nice.
We're bringing a band from Indiana called Marin.
Oh,
say it again.
They're Marin.
I don't know.
I'm gonna just say both for now.
I don't know if I know them. Yeah,
they're from South Bend.
Hi, Marin.
Yeah, funny story. Jonah is my Sweetwater rep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Me up after I made a purchase, and he's been my Sweetwater rep for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And he always hits me up. He's got my cell phone. He'll text me, let me know when different products I might be interested in or coming in. And he's my dealer.
Yeah.
But he's also in that band.
He's in that band, Marin.
Sweetwater.
How many bags of candy have you got?
Sweetwater is awesome. Oh, dude, I still got them all in the plastic wrap too, man. It's like a collection.
They do a lot of video stuff. So you're not just music, band stuff, audio. They do video.
They
do everything.
They
actually.
do everything over
They're
there.
huge.
So
did you tour? Do you get this? Well, he works there, so he knows about it.
Yeah, he works there. He knows all that.
It's freaking massive.
I just got I bought a microphone. He suggested it to me, and it's killer.
But you've never been there to go get it. They just ship.
No, they ship it. Yeah. I'm not driving out there.
It's a cool place. It's worth the watch.
Yeah,
it's worth the
look. Like a day out of it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I sine waved out in front of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So we got to talking, and it was super casual. And then after like 30 minutes, because he was just calling to check how the new product was, and after 30 minutes, we're just like, well, let me check your band out.
Why don't you play on our bill here?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, we'll you jump on our bill and set up something in Indiana for us.
Show swaps.
We'll do a show swap. That's how you get it done too, guys. Do show swaps.
So
Make friends.
A lot more people aren't doing that anymore. They don't return the favor a lot of times.
I
I've noticed that.
know.
It's just like
I know. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh yeah, this band from Philly or this band from here is or Ohio's coming through. Throw them on your show. Okay, throw them on the show.
So where is
they
the
never
show
hit
that
you
you're talking
back
about
up.
with the guy from Sweetwater? Where is that going to be again?
That's going to be at Q Bar Darien, August 22nd, and we're looking forward to that. We always have a good time when we play there.
Yeah.
Another great venue that they just got in a little trouble for having the what you call it boys there, the Pride Boys or whatever they're called.
Didn't they have one of those dudes from that used to be in the Misfits or something?
Oh, that was a while ago,
possibly.
but yes. But what happened? I didn't hear about that one having a problem.
I don't know if it was him or it was. They had a show or something. I've been to shows where at Q Bar where there's the far left is there. I've been to shows where the far right's there. It's very
political a little bit.
Quite honestly,
the venue's not political.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll just let people rent it.
Like.
The guests, yeah, they're strong and opinionated, and sometimes it gets past the promoters or it gets past the venue, and once they show up to your door, all you can do is just hope that
So what happened with the Misfits? Was he saying something bad about the president or something?
No, I think he was in complete support of that man.
Yeah, he said some things. Yeah.
Oh, you're joking. I was like, I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, no.
It got a little weird, is what you're saying.
I think he said some stuff, and some of the people in the area didn't agree with it. Personally, I have no qualms.
I personally don't get involved.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm more into that no hate policy. Where I don't like to.
You know what? I think Q Bar is getting more of a name for being like infamous with having acts that like to cause like riots.
I think there's a lot of venues that have that. Like, I mean,
or lately, as of late, as when we're doing the show. More.
You remember the Brower House?
Yep, the Brower House fiasco. That was brutal.
Closed down over all that stuff, but that was some tax stuff and
Brower's rant was. I couldn't. And when I read that, I was just like, oh my god!
And all the shows they threw during COVID.
Oh, I forgot about that. You weren't supposed to have any shows, and they did that.
I'm not gonna lie, we played one of them.
Joe, he's guilty.
Oh man.
Well, it was the day COVID hit. It was literally the day COVID hit.
So nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, no, that was like at the end of 2019, but they shut everything down in March of 2020.
We played it literally the day that it hit. So like Mudfest got canceled, but Tantric still was gonna play. So we were like, okay, we'll still play it, And then we were like, okay.
So they're like Q Bar. They like to get in trouble for. They just do what they want, it sounds like, or have controversial acts out there. But you're not controversial, right? Color Me Amused is just a fun band.
We try to stay fun.
What do you think you sound like?
I think we sound like, we can sound like Mayday Parade. We can sound like Blink. We can sound like A Day to Remember.
I'd say that's a good mix of it.
Yeah, we've got heavy influences and the full broad spectrum of alternative rock, some punk in there, some metal.
Yeah. Even a little bit of grunge influence.
Yeah.
In some
grunge
parts.
too?
Yeah. Right. I think at the end of the day, we just,
mostly pop punk though, I would say.
I'd say it veers in that direction.
Little metal too though.
We also, we're fans of just writing what we feel like is a good song that has a good structure.
You do well.
Keeping it simple, but also adding in those intricacies. Songwriters that I looked up to growing up were, Lennon and McCartney, Tom DeLonge, Mark Hoppus, Rivers Cuomo's, bands like, Weezer, Nirvana.
You know what he did?
That's a little bit of everything.
You know how Weezer became big? He quit Harvard his last semester. His last semester at Harvard, he quit Harvard and he dropped Buddy Holly.
Wow.
I
did
mean,
not
that
know
was a
I knew they
huge
did
hit,
Buddy
bro.
Holly. But
I
That
know
was a huge hit.
exactly.
Wow.
Now he has 23 million in the bank, and he doesn't
that's
have
a
his
And he's
huge
got
degree
hit.
from
3 years of
Harvard.
Harvard. Not
Yeah,
bad.
pretty
But,
Not bad.
but yeah, so Color Me Amused. I mean, we'll write ballads. We'll write heavy hitters. We'll write soft stuff,
You write good
hard
stuff.
stuff.
I
So-
personally am always. It's always got a good hook to it, and it's got great musicianship.
So if we want to find you, where are we going to find Color Me Amused?
you're going to find us. Honestly, if you Google Color Me Amused, that's the American spelling of color.
It'll pop up.
COLOR. Me Amused. It'll pop up on Google, and we're gonna be at the top of your screen.
I never
Otherwise,
thought about it. How do they spell it like in London or something? or
COLOUR.
Europe?
yep.
Oh,
There's
there's
a U
in
And
there.
some people have
Okay.
typed that in, so I always have to make the distinct.
It's well, then let's spell it COLORME and then AMUSED.
Yep.
All right. So we'll
So
just find you on.
you can find us
Google?
right there through Google. All our links should pop up.
Are you on
Otherwise, it's-
Spotify, iHeart,
yeah.
all them,
we're on Spotify, iHeart, Apple,
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. You can find us on Instagram. Instagram again is Color Me Amused Band _ or let me try that again. Color Me Amused _ band.
Got it.
Right on.
Well, it was cool having you on, and I always like the people Joe finds. Man, he's been finding some great people that he knows or has worked with, and you definitely are another great one.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Jacob's one of the best.
I
Honestly,
definitely,
I
I'm gonna
love
go
this
see your
bro.
Q bar for sure, because
Oh,
that's right by my
abs-
house.
Let's do it. And one thing before we part ways, at the beginning of the interview, I did say I was the leader of the band, but we are a democracy, so everything does go through checks and balances. We vote on stuff, and I've been the tiebreaker a lot lately. So,
So you end up being the leader, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
but
Yeah, you gave props to everybody.
I'd say that you guys are all leaders of your own role. You know, you all have your own roles and you lead them.
yeah,
You know, and
absolutely.
that's-
Monica's a killer drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Christian shreds.
Mhm.
Anthony's got a beautiful voice. He's good at guitar.
Heck yeah.
And Danny is our newcomer, but you know what? He's got such a good ear. I almost think he's better than all of us.
That's
And you're the
freaking cool.
writer, promoter, some editing, now video editing,
Absolutely.
singer. Wow. Well,
all
what
that
a-
producer.
We all
yeah.
got to check this out. So again, Color Me Amused.
So good.
Coming soon to an area near you in the suburbs of Chicago. Anyway, thanks again for being on. Appreciate it, Jason. Nice meeting you. Thanks again, Joe, for being with us and bringing him with you. And everybody, thank you for listening and watching. And we'll talk to you next time here on another episode of Bell and Company on Intellectual Radio. See you.